All right, good evening, everybody. Today is April 16th, 2025. This is the meeting of the Golf Commission. It is 6 P.M. And they want to do pledge allegiance first, and then we'll go forward. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Very good. Thank you. Okay, Alina. Have a happy Easter, Passover, wherever it's gonna be. Call to order here, and we have present. We have Director of Golf, Salguero. We have Commissioner Shirley. We have Commissioner Van Zandt, Commissioner Sienna, Commissioner Norton, Commissioner Richards, Commissioner Levy, and Commissioner Nancy.
Wow, sorry, Nancy. I know. Sorry about that.
I'm sorry, Nancy. I don't know that.
Yeah, y'all been here since day one,
I
right?
know, right? Never, not you, man. You're never forget Nancy, man. What's the citizens? We have, somebody present.
Yes,
So please state your name, address.
Michael Hadlock, I'm the president of the men's club, Premier Men's Club.
Yeah.
Bristol, Connecticut. You need the full address?
No. I actually do, right?
Yeah, for audiences, you have to be resident.
No, you don't actually.
No?
No,
I thought that's why they asked for address.
Well, yeah, but this is different because now he's the president of the
Men's club.
I'm acting on behalf of a group of citizens.
Yes, I know.
So yeah, full address, please.
35 Sims Road, Bristol, Connecticut.
Okay,
Thank
Michael.
you.
It's
DLOCK.
Yeah.
It's Hadlock.
Very good. HADLOCK. Very good. All right, Michael, what's on your mind?
On the agenda, it has the Men's Club Awards hallway. I know a couple of weeks ago, you guys did a whole repainting of the upstairs, took down all the plaques. You guys saved all the plaques. Men's Club feels that we like to preserve that history and show the history of the club. So we would like to add some of the plaques back up and update them. We are proposing, like the big brown plaques that we had with the white lettering. It looks like that our plaques haven't been updated in a while, but I guess at some point we migrated to the other smaller plaques. So we'd like to propose if we could have a wall back and put up 4 plaques, for our major champions, our club champ, senior club champ, our member, and there was one other, and then the presidents of the men's club. They'll be perpetual, they'll be updated on an ongoing basis. We're looking to maybe do like a 2x3, 2 foot by 3 foot plaque, the big ones, and just keep it updated with all of our names. We have a lot of history there. A lot of people have participated, and we like to preserve that history and show it, just like all the other golf clubs all around the state that has it. I mean, I know it's a municipal building, but if we look at like Stanley or Wittenberry or Rockledge, they have all of the club champs back there. I know we got the TV going, but we do have a lot of names and a lot of, like I said, a lot of history on there that we like to add back up to the wall if possible.
Can I answer the question?
No, this is all interaction.
Okay, how many years were you thinking of putting on these plaques?
As far back as we can go. So I'd have to look at the old brown plaques, but I think they went back to the 70s and then continue it going forward.
You're gonna get that on 4 plaques?
We're gonna try. If not, we're gonna add another plaque later on, but we like to preserve all of that history and have it posted somewhere rather than the TV, because I know the TV, I would hope that the ladies club and the Niners would also want stuff up there, because the TV could get pretty long if someone's gonna sit there and want to scroll through page over page over page over page.
Mm-hmm.
The whole idea why we did that, I mean, Michael, just so you understand it, first of all, number one, it was an atrocity. It was atrocious going through there, right? It was just, there's no space whatsoever. Every, there's I fit right there, and it's 3x3 area or whatever, right? And the history of it, we fully understand that. Secondly, it was never upkept. The upkeep was just, it was a joke. It really was. And don't take this the wrong way. And don't, and I'm just gonna be we're always very candid.
Yeah.
The only reason, people started complaining, because not a complaint, just when the emails I was getting back and forth, because we were taking them all out, it's like, well, you know, where have you been for the past 5 years?
Yeah.
Time to wake up, you know, I mean, no offense, it's not you, and it's not.
No, I understand,
Yeah,
we
so
we
it's
haven't updated our plaques in 10 years, and that's on the board.
Yeah, and so I look at this like, you know
That
what,
was my question, how long has it been since?
Yeah.
You said update them, they were just sitting there unupdated for 3 years?
For 3 years, we haven't had them updated.
so it's like, no offense, it's just like,
no new winners up there.
oh, they have, they
We've
just,
had winners, we just haven't updated the plaque with the new winners. Now, if you look at the brown ones that were taken, there was probably like a good 10, like 10 name space that wasn't updated. So at some point, we decided to go from the painted ones to the actual sketch or encrypted ones or whatever, not encrypted, but to the metal ones.
yeah,
I don't know why that happened, who made that decision, but, you know, we try to keep the other ones updated, if they weren't updated in the last 3 years, but, you know, we will make it a very much of a big priority to make sure they're updated going forward to keep it looking all right.
but we had to do something with the space, because
Yeah.
it was, you know, and no offense, I'm looking at this, it's like. Just say, same thing with the Berlin High School sign, I mean, you're gonna get to the point, it's like, okay. It's filled up, what next, you know, we get light up in the sky or something like that, I mean, you know, where do you? And so now I'm looking at this thing from going down the road, we're actually trying to, you know, take the course. You know, into the 21st century here, you know, and say, listen. It was great, it's not, how can I say this? If you look at the original vision of Timberland and go back and look at this stuff, I mean, the clubhouse was a snack shack. That's exactly how they refer to it, as a snack shack.
Yeah.
We've outgrown the footprint of this thing so many times, it's unbelievable. And, you know, it's like we're putting a Band-Aid on this thing. And truthfully, I'm looking at this thing, it's like, sooner or later, you're gonna need more space. Everybody is, right? The Lady Niners will, the senior men's.
Right, they're all
Everybody-
asked for 4, that's
everybody- yeah,
16.
right, and it's so you're gonna think, it's not gonna be a one wall, we'll be back to where we were, so
Yeah.
truthfully, and I'm gonna throw this back in your court, I'm gonna say, listen. You know, no matter what we give you, you only want more, right, because it's inevitable, it is.
Dollar meeting,
No,
Oh,
we
they're in
won't go
the
to the
dock back room. Straight
down.
hallway.
Go down that hallway, make a right, you can't miss it. Terry's in there, Terry, no, no, go away, you go straight. Yeah. You got it.
Yeah, and I know we overtook it with all of the awards that were out there,
Oh,
the
yeah.
NEPL ones, we're not asking to put those up, it's really just the 4 main ones that we wanna.
But you're gonna run out of space. I mean, so just hear me out, I mean, truth, and this is interactive, right, and. But I'm gonna say, listen to you this, listen, we need to look at. It not just 3 years down the road, you gotta look at 10, right, I mean, what's gonna happen in 10? Hopefully, we have a new clubhouse, you know. With everything else going on in town, I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I mean, that's how we have to look at things, so I'm gonna ask you to do the same thing, I mean, we don't have to decide tonight, we're not.
Right.
But let's look at this thing long term, you know, and have people with, sit down and look at this thing and say, listen, how do we wanna go about doing this? thing?
Yeah, and the ones that we're thinking about, like, let's just say you take that TV and turn it sideways. Have enough space where we can update it for the next 10, 15, 20 years, where we're not asking for more.
We'll be
space.
dead by then, let's just call
Well,
it that, so.
you know, well, I won't be a Timberland, I'll be retired somewhere down south, hopefully, but, you know, where if we do ask for more space, maybe it would be in another clubhouse, or we take down the original one, move that somewhere else where it's preserved somewhere. And I don't even know, can we use just that hallway, or can we use Ramsey's space to add things there? I don't.
Renties, that's its space, that's rental, right, that's rental, but I mean.
You know,
Go ahead.
Well, my thought is, the Lady Niners had a lot of plaques.
Yeah.
And we selected the 4 that had the most recent winners on it.
Yep.
And put the rest away. And I feel that everybody that has participated, all the different leagues, were willing to do that, and I think that the men's club should be willing to do that too.
So just what's on the
We'll put it up on
TV
the
now
TV.
is just like your last year's winners, and
It's a plaque that has maybe 3 or 4 years back.
3 or 4 years.
And as they, you know, as we use up the plaque, then we'd get a new one, and a new one would have to go up.
Yeah, I'll definitely bring that up to the board. I mean, I saw what's on the TV. You know, it looks like it's just a program, so if I'm not mistaken, and do we just provide you the names and you input it, or do we have control over how much we put on there? I mean, the bad thing is, you know,
No, I don't
if
think.
it runs through, it could run through for like
Well,
5
if he had
minutes.
the plaques,
Yeah.
he could just put the plaques up there. Have you seen?
Yep.
What's up there?
Yep.
And that he's using the plaques, our plaques are smaller.
Yep.
But if even if you had the bigger plaques, he would put the big plaques up.
You mean in a picture?
Well, we just put the plaques up, the whole plaque with the names of the people. And they paint a picture of the.
There's a picture of the plaque.
No, it's
a program.
it's a program. It's from
I
publisher.
haven't seen it, I haven't seen it, but I mean,
It's almost like a PowerPoint.
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Slideshow.
Looks good.
It does look very good.
I would take,
And I like the
Okay.
uniformity of all the groups doing that.
I agree, I do like uniformity and, I mean, I'm not saying this would be cheap if we wanted to put the plaques back up, but it would be probably very expensive for all the other groups to do the same. If like,
they don't have the money that you have, let's just call it what it is,
Oh, yeah,
let's just call it what it is, they don't, so it's,
Is this strictly gross players?
No.
You do both.
the member would have gross and net.
Yeah.
The club champions would have basically gross, cause that's really all we've done in the past 10-15 years. But that's pretty similar to what a lot of other courses would typically put up, your club champs. If you had net club champs, we're introducing the net club champ back this year.
Yeah.
I mean, if we wanted to add that, again, that could possibly require more space.
Or put it on camera,
Or put it on.
or a TV. I mean.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why do you wanna go back so far? Cause we have Army United, but we went back a few years, but
Just the whole history of the club. We have some people that's won this championship a long time and there's some very good. Yeah, and
ladies did too,
Yes.
you know, for many, many years.
it's more about just preservation of the whole history and seeing the whole history of the club.
we get, no, we all get that, we do,
Yeah.
and it's just a matter of, how can I say this, it got out of hand, and so where do you draw the line? And then,
Yeah.
are we to creep back up there again, and that's what we're trying to prevent. I mean, listen, things could change next year, who knows at this point in time.
Yep.
And that's why we've been at different clubs, we've seen pictures, right? You've seen the things go through. I'm not saying this is the right thing to do, but what we have is as far as the way it is. But, I haven't seen it, but I think a picture of some of the plaques, because some of them, I mean, they're nice, but,
Looks nice.
would have been up there, and it's like, all right, so, yeah, you scroll through it, you scroll through it. So if you want to see it, there it is. I mean, I don't know, I don't want to sit there and type, oh, who's the club championship? You have it over at TBC, they have something like that. It's like, you know what, I mean, it's nice, don't get me wrong, but, I don't have the answer. I don't know. I don't know. And that's the problem that we have here. We had to take it down. We took it down because it was like, too much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
I agree. There are a lot of plaques and they're all over the place. They weren't
Oh, yeah,
consistent, like.
you're absolutely, there was no
Like,
conformity.
if I want to look at the club champion, I have to look there and be like, all right, where is it?
Yeah, where's the other one? So
Oh,
you walk
there
up the
it is.
stairs. No, you're right.
And
No,
step this close to it to read it.
like,
Have you seen the TV?
Yes, yeah.
So you haven't turned in any plaques to be put on the TV or?
Yeah, because we wanted to talk here first. We have it all in Excel, in Excel format. We can give this all. And, provide that, which we could. absolutely do that.
I mean, the PowerPoint, how about not like JPEG up there or something like that, where it's a picture? Some of those things, I thought they look nice, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, some of those guys are still playing, and
Yeah.
I play with them, right? And so it's, I don't know, that part I think I'd like to preserve, like going forward and, maybe put up another TV, I don't know, another wall, I don't know why they did it there.
Yeah,
but it's-
what do you?
I don't like where that, I'll tell you flat out, I don't like where it is. I don't think I think it should be on another wall, so it's more visible
Right.
versus, you come in, you look back at the back room element.
What's the plan for that little entryway? I mean, I like where you guys put the town stuff, because I think that's great to have. and
Yeah.
That preserves the history of it as well, from a golf course standpoint.
Yeah.
What all, the walls that have the Lady Niners and then all of our NEPL, is that just gonna be blank?
I don't know, I mean.
The photos of the golf course, I've been looking into getting aerial photos of the golf course. So the plan is to put some photos of the golf course there, some history.
Mhm.
I have a couple of questions. One, where was this on the men's agenda list if we didn't renovate the room? And two, how about your own TV?
What do you mean, where was this?
If we didn't renovate the room this year,
Yeah,
would you have prioritized it as well? To
What do you mean?
update your awards?
oh, yeah,
and
We're
fix the
going
ones with
optimistic.
like broken glass.
Well, if the ones with the broken glass, if we could have easily taken those down and handed those out to people, and if you guys wanted us to remove.
No,
those,
just like
yeah,
fixing them, not handing them
Yeah,
out. Let's say we didn't touch that room and we weren't making plans of taking awards down. And we weren't making plans of painting the wall or updating that room.
We were just gonna update the.
So you guys
updated
had
plaque.
plans to actually update it this year?
We have a new person in charge of that.
Yeah.
That was going to take care of it.
We've been talking about this in the commission, and I'm sure all the leagues have been notified over the, past.
A year.
We,
least,
I will
yeah.
tell you, no one on the board knew that this painting was coming and the stuff is
No,
coming up.
it's really like the last,
Well,
we talked
we've
about
talked
last
about this
year.
for a
We-
while.
We talked about it last year.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we did, and,
We
you know, we
decided
finally pulled the
to-
trigger.
My first proposal was to have a TV for each organization. And we boiled it down to one.
Mhm.
But what if the men's club had their own TV?
And we could possibly do that, and that would be fine if, I don't know what type of program would go on the TV, or we could discuss it, but.
Yeah,
Like I said, you guys talked about this for a year, this is, the first I noticed that everything was gone was, I think. You may have sent an email out saying, hey, it was painted and it looked, I mean, it looks great painted, it was all dull color, and it needed to be repainted. But that was the first anybody on our board has heard about it.
Well, it's
We
just.
meet every month, Mike, no offense, we meet
I know that.
every month, I mean, and it's, and I'm a men's club member,
Yeah.
right? But at the same token, it's just like, you got skin in the game, dude. You know,
Right, but
the
we
whole board
never,
does.
we never knew that we should have a presence in here, if we should have had a presence in here. All along, we could have, I mean, in the past, we had Pete DeFazio, who was on the board and here. You know, we see you up at the club every time, we see Jimmy Green up at the club every time. If you guys want a board presence here, we will make sure that happens, maybe not every month, but, that's why I wanted to come, and it looks like we can
Yeah.
join on Zoom anytime, so.
Zoom's always, it's always on. I
Yeah,
mean,
so we will have representation here if you guys want it more often, and we'll make it
Or
a.
just look at it, and if something pops up, the agenda's always online,
Yeah.
the minutes are available, right, everything's already out there, right, and it's just. I know some of these guys are still looking at it, because they still tell me,
Yeah.
I still get phone calls from people on the, even board members, like, so they know what's going on.
Yep.
But
Now, the men's club has a TV, right? Their own TV? I see.
Well,
that.
they're in Ramsey's area,
Yeah.
we've purchased them for him, or went, made a contribution to him, but I wouldn't call it our TV.
the one.
We had
The
one
one
where we
has-
put pictures on it, but that one's been taken
And
down, the
then
one,
you have that had all
the scores, we
Scores.
usually, for our scores for during the tournament
Can
days.
you use that for your pictures, your plaques or your winners or whatever?
We would have to ask Ramsey to see if we could utilize that, because we only use that for our scores on tournament day.
If we're-
All other days, it's gonna be, regular TV that goes.
We gotta be consistent what we're doing, you know what I mean? And that's how we should look at this thing, and it's not just, listen, it's not just you guys.
Yeah.
It's the 18 holders, right?
Oh,
It's
it's
the
all four
89ers,
clubs,
it's the
yeah.
seniors.
Yes, absolutely.
So as a group, we gotta figure, and we're not gonna decide tonight, obviously.
Right.
But as a group, we need to figure out how we wanna proceed with this thing. Truthfully, and it is, and maybe it's a separate meeting. With representation from every group, say, listen, and kind of spitball it and just brainstorm it. All right, so preserve the history, yes. All right, and how are we gonna deal with this stuff, and what do you wanna see? That's, and that's how I would approach this thing, but, it's something for everybody to think about.
Right, and I feel it shouldn't just be our plaques up there.
I agree.
There's
No,
more
listen.
history besides us,
Yes, correct.
well, Niners, seniors,
Listen,
ladies.
you hit the nail on the head, that's right, you don't wanna lose that piece of that, and I don't, so, how do we do this without going back and having, the crock pot that we had sitting up there, you know what I mean? That's, and that's where we need to look at this thing, and I've talked to Sal about this too, it's like, so do we pay somebody to do this? And I don't know, Mike, I don't know, I'm asking everybody here, it's like, it's time to really think about some of this stuff, and how do we wanna present it? You know what I mean? And I don't, have a bigger TV or maybe 4 separate TV, I don't know, I don't know that's the answer either.
But you put 4 separate TVs up there, now, you're back at.
You're back at where you
all
were.
plaques.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right, so.
And kind of personally, my name's not up on that wall, My fiance's name's up on that wall, my mother's name is up on that wall.
We don't like you, that's why.
Well, I'm not good enough. Actually, my name,
You set yourself up. for
it's
that.
funny, my name should be on the wall as president, but it hasn't been updated in 3 years. So for playing, no, but like, I don't want it just to be us. You know, and I think you guys
No,
understand that.
I think we're all in agreement, I think we are, you know, we are, we really, I think, you know, everybody's got skin in the game, right, we all do, and everybody's part of that history. Right, they are, and it goes back from, you know, when we opened up, so.
So is there a way that maybe I can get access to that program, so, and I could input the names to see how it looks and
Sure.
present it to the board and say, hey, if we had all 40 years of what we have to this is what it's gonna look like on a TV. That may look terrible. If we break it out in 10-year increments, now you're scrolling through, you know, if someone on the Lady Niners wants to see their name and they're sitting there for 5 minutes going through the men's club stuff, I'd like to just to see what it would look like. And then we can make a decision around, okay, are we gonna just not have our history up there, or you know, ask again for plaques and work with the other clubs to put up plaques? So if we could see it,
Sure.
and then we can make a decision as.
I'll email it to you.
You got some guys on the board or in club, you know, that are, they're advertising or they're in communications like that, I mean, pick their minds. I mean, seriously, pick their mind, I mean, what if, you know. Just like one of the other things I belong to, you need something done, I said, go look for who wants to become a member, here it is, you're right, I mean, it's free labor, right, I mean, that's what's, it's just another way of looking at this, you know?
Yeah, and we'll reach out to a couple of them, like, you know, Dan Sullivan for a lot of tickets that we do.
Yeah.
So what can he do for us?
Yeah, well, not, but get his, pick his mind.
Yeah.
That's it, just pick his mind, so let's. You know, and I'm not saying that we're tied into this thing forever, but things change, right? I mean, that's, and we need to change with it, and that's the whole thing, it's just, you know. It's like a living document, you know what I mean? And
Trying to modernize the place a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't wanna lose any of the history.
It's always been that way, man.
I don't wanna lose any of the history, I don't, but, you know, I think the TVs are kind of a good idea, maybe 2. You know, maybe if 4 is too many, yeah,
But I mean, it was an organized.
Oh, yeah, we all agree.
And it's gotta be.
right.
And so what do you do with the, and truthfully, so what do we do with plaque, what do we do with the plaques now? I mean, after put it this way, after all the pictures are taken of them, and then I'll just in order to preserve them, what are you doing?
Well, we have to still update ours every month, every
No,
year.
the stuff that was up there, you know, if you take pictures of me, at least you have that.
Well, that was
history.
that was gonna be my next question, you guys. If we take some of them and can we post them in the men's locker room? There's open walls there, some of them are sheetrock, just to preserve them and keep them up. I mean, nothing's gonna get added to it. It's all gonna be done on the TV if we go there.
Where are you gonna put it? I mean, what is,
Oh,
you think
yeah.
we have lockers in there, right? I mean, it's storage, it's like my, seriously, the footprint is not, we've outgrown the building.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we all know that, right?
Yeah.
So what do we do? I mean. I don't know, that's you know, that's just creating another mess somewhere else. I mean, we need to look long term, I mean, everybody's looked long term at this thing and it's, you know. We're trying to figure that, we're working through this thing, that's all I can say, we're working through it, we're trying to figure it out too.
Yeah, and we just wanted to come here and voice
Oh,
our
listen.
opinion and make a proposal, and we'll go back, look at the program, look at.
Give us ideas,
Yeah.
man, seriously, give us ideas, that's, you know, we're open.
If you guys have like someone with photography background, maybe they could find a way to actually take pictures of the plaques. Cause you need a special like room and lighting, so, cause it's metal and wood,
Yeah.
so there's reflection, so to find consistency and taking pictures of the actual plaques. You need like a professional to do it.
Yep.
If you just do it on your cell phone, it's
Yeah,
not gonna
no,
work.
I'm trying to take a couple of
Yeah,
them and
it's-
we're like, I can't do that.
I couldn't read it when I put it on the TV.
We're gonna put that on the TV?
Yeah, so,
My glasses.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I do that already, watching the TV, the regular TV.
I will
Okay.
be surprised if some of these leagues now that we have Monday
Well,
through Friday
that's a good
are,
point.
are gonna come to us and say, hey, guess what? We wanna put something out there,
That's why it's like,
and what they'll probably ask is, can we put it on the TV?
Yeah,
well, where do you draw the line, that's really what it comes down to, right, I mean, and so.
Right.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there, but right now, we're worried about the 4.
Yeah, the ones that are exclusive to Temple.
Yeah,
Like you're talking the other leagues that could leave and go to Stanley or another club, right?
exactly,
Yeah,
they can
so-
migrate to.
But they're paying the freight too, they're paying, you know.
Yeah, that's true. No, you got, you got to support the valid point.
Yeah.
That's a valid point. Listen, you know, we'll throw it back in your court because,
Okay, I'll bring it back to the
yeah,
board.
and say, listen, and listen, we're open, but we just. Let's look at a long-term solution, that's all,
Yeah.
you know, let's just say more than 5 years, more than 10 years, more than 10 years out, right?
Yeah.
And it's a living, you know, whatever it is, we can always change whatever, but, you know, that's how you look at that thing, you know, say 10 years and, you know.
Yep.
I don't know, what do you, listen, what are you guys' thoughts on that? I mean,
Is it gonna be a perpetual 10 years, like, okay?
you'll be dead, so will I, so don't worry about it.
I'm shooting for my
Appreciate you trying your
mother.
But if it,
No, but I understand, like, if we run out of room, what happens at the 11th year? Are we taking that down and where are we gonna put that and then put another one up?
Well, I guess those are some of the details that we have to
yeah,
really consider when we.
Decades come, you know.
but when we're looking at it, it's just, you know.
Yeah.
Essentially,
right.
when we do like our plans, right, you know, it was 1, 3, 5, and 10, right, basically, and it's a living document, right, so the same thing, it just.
Yeah.
Think about that, I wouldn't say, well, 10 years out, but look at that, you know, 1, 3, and 5, and you can always change it from there.
Yeah, I think what the seniors did was 5 years,
Mhm.
5 years back and.
Yeah, but I don't want, you know what,
Yeah.
truthfully, I wouldn't wanna lose some of that stuff from the original, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
going back, and even if you put up a picture of some sort, I don't know. You
Yep.
know, but
No,
that's,
I-
right, to me, that's the
I- I-
history from the beginning, you know, from day one, right, I mean,
Mhm.
when we opened up in the 70s.
Right, yeah, those
Right,
plaques. are
Unless you
up
had
You were
a
there,
television that was just gonna be for history. You know, plaques that just showed history, like Lee and I are plaques that just showed history.
Yep.
We've got them way back to 1971.
Better records than us, I don't know if we have, I can't back to 71. It goes back quite a bit, but. I don't know
I'm
if
sure you knew Bert was on there. Was he, since you walked the bath,
Yeah.
you know, Brendan was up there?
Yep.
Those are the old guys I played with. But they still good shooters, you hear that, Brendan?
So yeah, I'll bring that back.
Yeah.
And talk to the board a little bit more about it, but,
Please,
you know, wanted to
Please.
give you our opinion and our, what we're looking for. So,
And that's fine, you know, but whoever, think about assigning somebody to this and have them contact, you know, the seniors. And the Ethan Hollers and the, you know, the Lady Niners and work together.
Yeah.
I mean, then, you know. And do it right,
Yeah,
seriously,
because,
just do it right, if that's all I'm gonna tell you, just do it right,
yeah, the men's club is not the only part of the club.
correct.
And we don't wanna lose any of that history either.
Very good,
Excellent.
all right,
That's all I got.
anything else, that's all you got? Well, you want to skip the rest of the meeting.
I wanna hear about the bunker project.
All right.
But I'm sorry, one more thing, but if you guys ever want board representation here, we can definitely come, and if there's anything that you need to be brought up, you know, just. Feel free to come to any one of us, you know, all of us on the board, or, you know, I know Jimmy Green likes to talk, he could definitely bring it up too, so, you know, if there's anything that.
I thought there was communication going back and forth to everybody. I thought there was communication going back to the people on the, all 4 of them.
We would love to hear more, and maybe that's on us to come here, because we would like to communicate some of the things that are discussed. Probably here to the membership, like, they would love to hear about the bunker project.
The plan, I mean, that's what I do. I'm with you on that one, communication is key, man.
Yes,
Every month, there's a packet that's put out, and you go through that, and then it has, what Saul is doing to the course and what, Mark Bailey.
Mark, yeah,
Yeah,
the financials,
yep, yeah, I saw that.
we look
That
at
part.
things, I put it this way, I look at things, different. Fiscal year, yeah, that's great for those, I look at the season, how we doing the season, all right, and it's,
that one.
you know, that's, to me, more, you know. More indicative of what's going on, so. All right, approval of minutes from March 20th. Has everybody looked at the minutes? Okay, does anybody have any questions on the minutes? Any changes to the minutes, any adjustments, no, okay.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes.
Sammy, have a motion to accept, second, Nancy Berger, Commissioner Berger, All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, all against? None, very good. Takes care of that one. All right, bunker project and RFP.
So we hope to have a first draft finished for the RFP by the end of next week. That will include the blueprint of the changes and also the back end of it with all the RFP stuff. So the RFP is like almost like 80 pages long, so there's a couple of things we have to tie up. Things like where we get the sand, where we store them, or how much piping we need for drainage and how much sod we need. So very specific things that ties this all into a project. So when you in the middle of a project or questioning things, it should all be there
Yeah,
as an item line for us to look back to.
so there's no questions, everybody knows what they're bidding on, there's no ifs, ands, or buts, this is you're down to the type of sand.
Everything.
Exactly. Have you gone to the building commission, have you talked to those guys?
No,
on
well,
that
the
yet?
when we finish this first draft, it'll be passed along to members of the finance team, town manager, town lawyer, director of our representative of the PVC. So once everyone looks at it, my plan is to go to next month's meeting. For I think it's the second Tuesday of the month
For approval?
for whatever they want to call it.
Of the planning, the building commission people, right?
Yeah, they
Okay.
need to approve
Yeah.
approve us and bring us back to TC.
Well, they're gonna, how can I say this, they need time to digest that too.
Well,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume we go to next month's meeting. It's gonna take another meeting to do it, so.
Once you approve that, once you have that in a draft form, you can give them a copy
Yeah,
ahead of time, so they at least digest part of that, correct?
correct.
That's how it, and then, I'm trying to move this thing along,
Yeah,
to me. it's
They've
just like,
already
oh my
seen
goodness.
a draft of the blueprint, right? So they're happy where that is. So they're just waiting for the rest of the RFP.
Okay,
Do we have a target date and get this all out so that we can start?
I hope to get a public to see, I hope public can start seeing it. What's April, the end of May into June?
Get it out there.
Yeah.
and if it's in June, will that give, so if you issue it in June, you're gonna give them 30 days or 45 days to look at it, correct?
30, I think is what the
Is that
town
what
manager
is?
said. Yeah.
Okay, and then, are we talking about starting in
Fall.
October, November?
Hopefully
I mean,
sometime in the fall, our perfect dates would be in the mid to late October when all our events are done.
Would that give them enough time?
Yeah.
Aggressive schedule.
Well,
I know, it's a good-
It's a 9-week project, so, a lot of it will be tight, but. We'll see what these companies say. They would propose these projects to us, along with their bid and give us a timeline, so.
Have you given any thought to, you can do this all, you're not gonna close the course down, so you're gonna do it.
That's why we're
a
gonna
couple
wait.
Holes at a clip, like 2 or 3 holes at a time, or is that what you're thinking?
We've
about
thought
doing?
if we did it in season, if we were able to do it in season, you would have to close in bundles. Maybe 2 a day, where you make temporary greens for that hole.
Mhm.
But that's if you do it in season. I don't think we're gonna get in someone's book for in season this year.
I'm talking about October.
October, I don't know, we're not gonna close the entire course right away. We'll probably do the same, couple temporary holes a day, and then they do it in bundles
So
of
you figure
3.
it's take them 2.5 to 3 months to do this thing?
9 weeks is about the average. When I asked around for what, for recent bunker projects, like Gillette Ridge is doing one, they're about in a 9-week span, with the same architect.
Is there any way that we could push this thing? Be a little more aggressive and get.
Yeah, I'm trying,
to get RFP. So what is the holdup? Is the hold with the architect?
No, by the end of next week, there should be no holdup. We're just trying to, there's a lot of stuff we have to put on paper, and we just want to make sure everything is correct.
And then,
And then, you know, if the budget for, that's been proposed and hopefully approved at the end of the month. So hopefully all our residents will vote yes for it. There's a bonding for our bunkers of over 700K. That will, along with our 400K, that'll be over 1 million. Which is right in the range of our projected, you know, full renovation project, not just the green, all the bunkers
yeah,
plus.
well, Michael, so for your edification, and we've been fighting to do it, listen, we wanna do it once, do it right, it's over and done with, right? I mean, we've been putting Band-Aids on a lot of things for a long time, and everybody's got very short memories on why things got done, and I really don't care, it doesn't matter, we're just going forward. And I think everybody's in agreement with this thing, it's just like, you know, have it outlive us, and that's, and it's over and done with, right? I mean, it's just one way to do it, and it's, and I know the men's club and everybody's gonna complain about this, but when it's all said and done, listen, you know, that you look what we've done and where we're gonna be in a couple more years, and it's like night and day, and it's, you know. But the thing, and I've said this before, we need support from everybody, we from the men's club, I mean, they have to show up in force. And you know what, we did put something out for the bunkers last year, and I think,
We had a lot of feedback.
yeah, but nobody showed up to the meeting.
No,
except
but
there was 3 of us there,
they
right?
gave a lot of feedback.
Yeah, we got feedback, and it was great, you know?
Yeah.
And everybody's complaining about their own shots, and that's, I
Yeah.
don't care about your shot, right, you know, about everybody, but. I mean, don't take it the wrong way, no, but it's like, when it came time, you know, so with the planning people, there was. One person shut up, besides me, you and Gail, right? Is that what?
I
it was?
didn't even think there was another person.
No, there
There was
was
there?
one person
I
shut
thought
up.
just you mean
And it was
Gail.
just-
So can I ask a question about that? Like, some of us are under the impression, like, we can't speak at these meetings if we're out of towners. But if we're there representing the board of the men's club, are we allowed to speak?
Well, here you can, this is the golf commission, as far as that one goes, I'm not sure how that, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, I'm really, I'm
I'll
not
ask.
sure.
Yeah, because I think you and I exchanged emails, and I reached out to a lot of members of the club and say, hey, I want all of your thoughts about the bunkers, and put it all together, organize and got it to, I didn't know if I could come, or like Doug could come, or Nate could come, because we're not town residents, so like, can we be heard? But if we're representing the golf club as the
But at
board.
the same token, you can go through us.
Sure.
Right, I mean, and that's it, so we'll be your spokesperson if we have to be, and say, listen, but. How can I say this, if the numbers are there. Right, and I gotta be very careful how I say this. Nobody knows who votes and who doesn't. Right, but if the numbers are there. You know, there's power in numbers, that's all I'm gonna say, there's power in numbers,
Oh, yeah.
and that's all there is, and if you jam something up, and with all these people, they're like.
Mhm.
You know, someone's gonna think twice versus, you know,
Mike, you got some, town residents that are on the executive board?
We do have.
That
they can come.
represent the club.
Yeah, I think half of our board are town residents, so we could ask
yeah, you
them.
got people on there, I know you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but it's not just them, you got. All I'm trying to say is, listen, we're gonna need support. Especially when it comes time for the bonding and all this type of, you know, and down the road, I said, when I said that, you know, the end game. The end game is a new clubhouse eventually, and that's, you know. We're talking many million for that,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, but that's it, you need support, we need support.
Where's the numbers,
That's correct.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we could definitely send out emails to the membership and say, hey, they're talking about the bunkers, they need our support. Everybody try.
Bridge is the next, Bridge is the next one up, right, that's the, and then, you know, after that, then. You know, the big clubhouse, and that's it.
And I think we can get more support if we know how it affects the club itself, like, I know you guys were talking about doing something in October. We do have events in October and into November, like our closing day is mid-October, I don't think we would want any holes closed during that event, but. You guys gotta do the bunkers, you gotta redo the bunkers, so, you know, I know we want all the bunkers redone, well, we want the bunker renovation done.
Yeah.
You know, cause some of it is, we have rules, and the ladies played it down everywhere, but we play it up because of the way that the bunkers are. So we're worried about hitting a pin, we're worried about
Pin
hitting
is
the
the
underlayment,
fabric,
which could really,
Yeah.
you know, hurt people. And, but, you know, we all want it done. I don't think there's anybody in the entire club that doesn't want these bunkers redone.
Right.
Yeah, and done right.
yeah, do it once, man, that's how I look at it, just do it once, do it right, and. You know, but so be it. I think we're all in agreement with that
How
one.
many bunkers do we have?
Oh,
64?
I think we're in the low 60s and we're gonna finish in the high 50s, mid 50s. It's not gonna be,
Big expense.
Yeah,
yeah,
So the proposal is just to get rid of a handful of them and, or maybe.
but
combine
renovate a
some.
bunch, like reshape a bunch.
Mhm.
You know, some big ones, make it smaller, and you know, strategically take away some. We're not,
Replayability of the course.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're not trying to make the course easier or harder, just
Better.
better condition. And easier for the staff to maintain, better prepared for rain, you know, stuff like that, like,
Mhm.
so. It's the timeline of this project is right on time with. If you propose a project to the town, right, it doesn't happen in weeks, it happens in years, so. You know, it's,
That clubhouse now.
yeah, well.
Let's see, we planted.
Yeah, what, 2 years, 2 years
More
ago?
than that.
Can you move it? I think it really should
The
be
mayor
behind
wants to
16
walk
and
by my
18.
house anymore. The mayor won't even walk by my house anymore.
Oh, my God.
He thinks another route now, you know, Mark?
I mean, yeah, my 2 cents, if you do it right, put it right next to 16 and 18. so
Yeah.
You can sit outside and watch.
If
people
you,
play.
if you know Blackledge. They renovated theirs and their patio oversees
Yep.
certain hole.
Yep.
It
Putting
attracts
green.
so much non-golf revenue. You know, that
For the restaurant.
for the restaurant,
That's revenue.
but it attracts a lot of people to your course, so
But also.
those they turn into golf rounds.
But that's correct, but that also affects rent revenue.
Right,
I mean,
right.
There's a side
Yeah,
effect.
that project is not just the town's project,
Right.
that's probably the town and Ramsey's project,
That's correct.
or whoever's
Or
taking,
whoever,
whoever's
yeah,
is
we've
there.
already been down that road
Yeah.
too, but it's just.
Yeah.
You know. All right, well,
You're ready for this every month? You wanna do this every month?
Yeah.
Well, we got 10 board, we got 10 board members, and I could take.
Think about carefully.
but you know where we're coming from, I mean, you know what, and that's it, it's. We're starting to look long term on some of this stuff, and it's, we're getting, it's slow, that's all we'll say, it's.
So open, like, public viewing end of May, you're thinking,
For the RFP,
or like
Like
design
May, June,
project, like
May,
maybe.
June.
Once it's on the street, you can look at it, before that, you can't look at
Yeah.
that, right, I mean, that's because it's public at that point in time.
Yeah.
But even internally, you know, you have NDAs going out also with these things, non-disclosure agreements.
I'll ask the town
I
manager if
would
that's
have to
something
be
we
very careful.
do.
You have to give that to,
Yeah.
because it's, you know,
No, it's I haven't given it to any of y'all.
I haven't
So-
seen- I haven't but I haven't seen any of it, right, I mean, we all have
Oh,
a
yeah,
report,
yeah.
like, you know, and that's it, right? We'll have input, that's it, so, all right, new business, the awards hallway. Do we want, is there anything else we need to talk about that, but the ball's in your court, Michael, I'm not gonna, I don't need to refer to you, but. And then, you know, I would appreciate if you could have a subcommittee or something like that on that, and then bring the other, the 18 holders and the Lady Niners and the senior men's club in on it, and just. You know, just come up, you know, listen, spitball, come up with some ideas and just brainstorm and. You know,
See what we can do.
see what we can do.
Can I ask a fair, like, I don't know who the board members are, all the other groups, I know some of them on the Lady Nine, or the Lady 18 holders. Tabitha was on the Lady Niners, I think she joined again this year, but like, just, you know, we should-
Donna Bowman, you know her?
yes,
We're the Lady Niners.
okay.
Yes, and she's the vice president, yes, but in Michigan.
Okay,
Can you get, so can you get a listing to him?
No, you want the president, VPs of each?
yeah, that's
Okay.
fine, yeah. Okay,
Is that information on the
Might wanna
website?
include their.
Yeah, well, in their own websites, but I'll get it to you.
Yeah.
It won't be hard. Can you repeat the sizing of the plaques that you, yeah?
like 2 foot by 3 foot or 3 foot by 4 foot, you know, big enough like. That it could hold many names,
Gotcha. Just wanna see how it fits on the wall.
almost the size of the brown ones.
The brown ones.
Yeah, similar to that, but the names will be a little bit smaller, so it could be all on one board and it could go, you know, 10, 15, 20 years later.
Gotcha.
Who's the president? Let's see.
Next question.
No. Yes.
That's gonna take a second.
Nancy, you wouldn't happen to know who's actually the president of the 18 months.
I could find that out. I think tabs on
I'm,
the,
I'm your representative and
Thank
I,
you, Howard.
Is it
I'm
Candace?
brand new and I'm like,
Is that Candace?
I get all these emails. Is it
I don't know.
Candace?
I thought it was Candace.
Candace?
I
Yeah.
could find out.
I'll email it.
Tabitha's on
Yeah.
it too.
You have the contacts.
I have it,
right?
yeah,
They're
I
fine.
have it.
I mean, consider that one. All right, just send the
And the
contact.
template of the awards, I'll email.
Yeah. Memorial tree.
I'm sad to say,
Did it die?
It died.
It died.
you guys are wishing it for it to die or something.
You told us this at the last meeting.
I did?
Yeah.
It's a different song.
I didn't say that.
You
I did?
Oh,
No, I did not, because it just happened.
Well,
It died.
What happened?
The shrimp, the
Somebody
dog
told me.
tree died
What happened?
from the ice period.
Oh, my goodness.
It never turned green from that day, from that week. So
Where did I
the
go?
company that relocated it for us, they're very embarrassed of their work, so they replaced it with another tree.
Poison ivy?
You even told me the name of the tree.
I know, what did I say?
When did that happen?
So did they replace it?
They replaced it
Or they're
already.
going to?
They replaced it already.
Yeah, it's a new tree.
And
I know, I found
the-
it last week. I was
Oh,
like,
did they really?
that's a new tree.
The name is,
I saw the old one, brown, I was like, what happened to that thing?
Borrow your pen.
As soon as they turn around, there's everything's there.
yeah.
What's her name, Candace?
Just gonna take a quick picture.
Sounds like. So what's it sound like?
Forget it. We don't need to know. It's not,
What
it's
is
not important.
Armentia or something, Armentia,
What does it look like?
it's like a bright red tree, like when it blooms. Very nice,
Okay.
Yeah. I'll look it up.
something like that, Ron, but it's already planted.
Big.
Oh, Stewartia,
What?
Stewartia, STEWARTIA.
What's the warranty on that one?
Yeah, we'll see.
Like, we're trying to standardize a lot of things going
Yeah.
forward. I mean, we really, benches, plaques, they're all over the place.
Oh, there's so many.
I saw
memorial
Morantes
blocks.
today, it was just hanging by a thread, and
What's
I
that?
was thinking of Deb for whatever reason. And it's over by on 7, and it's hanging from a piece of wire, it's like, oh no. And Louis, I know his name was Louis either, it's like, I don't always call him Lou, but we're trying to standardize a lot of this stuff, and it's just like, even with the benches, you have, a standard bench, here it is, right? And then, a plaque, and then the Lady Niners have an idea of where they're gonna go on
A rock.
a rock with whatever, and you know what, but
Instead of trees.
that's where we're trying to.
Yeah.
And so we have a donation packet out there that he's supposed to put on the site. So people know, they know up front, so exactly, listen, here it is, here's what it's laid out, and then. We've asked for like even a planting for the next 5 years, so. If you wanna buy a tree, listen, here's what we're looking for, which one do you want? That's the reason that we're trying to think like this, and it's just. But we will get there, we will get there.
So how much is a bench? We would pay one of our 89
$2,000,
Okay.
Well, no less,
To me.
forever.
nah, $2,000.
Give it $2,000.
But it's all Trex, so, you know what I mean, this is,
It's gonna last.
yes, it's gonna last, and then. If something should ever happen to it or whatever, and then it gets replaced, the plaque is not lost, it's still gonna go on out, and it'll go on there still, right? So you can have 2
Right.
plaques or 3, whatever.
The $2,000 covers like, future maintenance, if something breaks or,
Okay.
Well, I'd be careful what you say on that one, but.
Vandalism.
Yeah, that's the other thing you gotta be careful of. All right, anything else on the memorial tree? Well, thanks for replacing that tree. I thought it was good when I looked at it.
you looked at it, it died.
I was like. That's all it's face now. That's my wife. You hear that? Been trying to knock it up for a while. All right, the March P and L, the only thing I saw missing out of this is the monthly revenue in the rounds for March, even though we were over for a couple of days, so if you get that out to us. I appreciate that,
No, sorry, Jimmy, what was that?
yeah, I sent you an email about.
Yeah, usually you get that in Mark's packet, so
Yeah,
I'll
it
ask
wasn't
him,
there.
it wasn't, so I'll ask him if I should start taking over and just do it, so.
Whatever.
Which
Okay,
wouldn't be
and
hard.
And that's fine, I mean, it was a year to date and that's fine, are we still projecting a profit for the?
Right now, at the same point, at last year, we're ahead, but we're still losing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, that's.
Yeah, because this month is big, April, May, June, those are the 3 months that's gonna get us from -70 to hopefully 120 again,
Plus
right?
120.
Plus 120. So, but we're ahead of last year,
As far as what, rounds?
revenues and where we are in the profit loss,
Well, you can't go wrong with that,
you know.
next fiscal year's rates coming into play now.
Well, I will say, it's been a slow start to the
It
year
has, been bad
with the
roads.
weather.
Yeah,
I'm still wearing a jacket these days,
yeah.
you know, so we'll see. It's a big
This
month,
weekend,
because our leagues are starting, our outings are starting at the end of the month. You know, so those are, hopefully we get some good weather days on those, and we have men's league starting already, and they were able to bless us with a couple busy weekends, even though it wasn't very
Saturday was the last one.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's when
It
we
happens.
close, it happens, so.
But this weekend you should be, I mean.
Saturday should be
beautiful.
bonkers,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Saturday should be really nice,
And how's that
so.
working out that we're getting the CIP money up front from the leagues?
Uh,
The men's or
it-
just the weeknight leagues, we have
Yeah.
the CIP money up front. And that way, I mean, not that it amounts a lot, but it's less hassle on people inside.
Well, yeah,
Unless they want a cart.
I
so.
did notice there's a lot less traffic inside, unless you're taking a cart.
Yeah,
But you know, it helps with bookkeeping.
sure.
You know, where we feel it's we don't have to chase anyone, right?
No,
So
well, it just makes more sense, right?
Yeah.
It's just, it's. Everything's above board, boom, here it is,
Right.
whatever, you know, and even our guys were even asking that, and I told them what was going on and.
yeah,
Because they were like, oh, do I have to give a dollar? No, just everything paid up front. Boom, Jay's paying it, and that's for our league. Very good. Excellent, excellent. The expenses go, I mean, now the expenses, and it was just, you know, I saw Mark's, and other than that, that's it, and it's like, you know, that's the only thing that's out of the ordinary, right?
Yeah.
As far as the monthlies go. So, and we have advertising, and that's, I don't know, we gotta think of another way we can use our advertising, you know, that's our,
yeah, Tyndall Creative.
yeah. Yeah, how can we?
Well, she was gonna do an article on Willie, the 99-year-old.
Yes. Oh, good, no, listen, good for him.
Yeah,
man. That's so-
He was looking
I
for
hope to see him
him.
next year at 100. That's
Yeah.
phenomenal,
He
right?
was looking for, he's got longevity in his family. He
Really?
might just make it, yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
A centenarian, man, that'd be great.
Good job.
Yeah.
It's a good guy.
Well, this is what my third year with Tyndall Creative, and you know, I welcome the organizations to come up with things that she may be able to do for you guys, or and just let us know, let myself and Mark know. I know she already does stuff for each organization as far as marketing your events or taking pictures during the events or posting it and stuff, but you know, if there's more that she can do for us. I know she's been trying to do like all social media branches. You know, as far as postings, you know, we do our monthly newsletters between myself and Mark, you know, in seasons. So, but.
Does she do anything at all with the kids, or can't she?
Yeah, I think one of the days
Without
is,
signatures from parents.
the thing we do with the kids is we promote the actual programs,
Oh,
right? If there's an actual kid we're promoting, it's specific, like
okay,
that Reed kid who went to the Masters or whatever.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
cause you're right, you can't just
No.
post, you
No.
know,
No,
you need
you're right.
permission, so. I mean, we post the kids team, that's coming from coach, right? So
Mm,
that's where we get permission from, so.
okay.
But yeah, good question, though. It's very specific with the kid, like,
They have so much
Yeah.
going on with
Yeah.
the kids, you know?
so we try to promote Mark's programs, not the kids.
Any questions on the P and L? Okay, a quick meeting, open discussion. Anybody got comments?
I had one thing I was gonna ask, you know, on hole 17,
Mhm.
when you know, tee off, there's always that wet spot there.
On the right,
Can they do anything about
I
that?
think you'll see improvement there when we do our bunker renovation.
Okay. So I won't have to worry about landing in it off the top.
It's mucky.
We hope to get a lot of our wet spots
Yeah.
fixed with the bunker renovation.
That's been like that for a while.
Yeah, you'll notice a lot of them are near bunkers.
You got a plan for all that mulch?
Yes,
Okay,
it's gonna go around the golf course and around the clubhouse.
perfect. Ramsey asked me to ask.
Oh, he wants to take some?
He wants it, he wants some around the
It's
clubhouse.
gonna be
if
around
he
the
could get
clubhouse,
it.
yes.
Yeah,
Could they put a railing up on the walkway that is coming down from the putting green on the side of the tent?
yeah, okay.
Just on the right side of the tent,
Yeah.
onto the.
Right.
You're right, so
The handicap spots.
Yeah,
There's like four, one step
yeah,
wood, concrete.
because, yeah, that really needs something. From some of us that need it.
I'll request it.
Okay.
As far as the mulch goes, is that gonna be moved pretty soon? Because it's taking up about 3 parking spots.
I try to get a timeline this week. We've just been a little bit tied up with some things. I see that starting to happen next week. Mulching the course and the clubhouse.
Okay.
The trees look good,
Thank you.
that grove trees
Yeah.
that they put up, that looks really good.
You know, it's pretty, don't get me wrong, it's pretty, but the ball's still coming through, so
We have to
and
grow.
that's. I'm sorry?
They have to grow.
Well, I don't think that's gonna stop them all anyway, that's not gonna.
my lifetime, I don't
know.
I see it happening a lot when we have kids up there, because that's about the range they hit it.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's amazing how we're seeing more golf balls there than when there were no trees there, right? Like, it's crazy, but that's when I see, when it's accumulating on that part of the range, it's after a bunch of kids.
Oh,
Yeah, in regards to the kids. It was, I was at the driving range and it happened to be one of the days, well, like around 2:00, 2:30. When they were giving lessons and at the range and there were kids running all over the place. And one woman was chasing her kid all over, they were going right behind us as we're hitting the balls. And going out and picking up balls right in front of the mat.
Yeah, that happened to me last year.
It's dangerous. So I don't know how to control. I think we talked about this one other time.
yeah.
Well, if
But
it's,
the parents really have to.
I'm assuming, was there like a clinic then, or like,
No,
It's a
this
bunch
was,
of kids,
this was after the clinic.
okay,
Yeah, it just ended, but the kids were still hitting some balls
yeah,
into the shop.
yeah, I mean,
Shark, yeah, it's on the shark.
hopefully, if there was staff there, they would do something about it.
You know, it
But,
was-
you know, if there's no staff there, you just let us know right away so we can go there.
Okay.
That's all, I mean, again, hopefully if there is staff there, they do something about it or let me know so I can, you know, go ahead and see what the problem is, but, you know, those kids should really be looked at if, you know, they're there coming in here for a clinic or whatever, right? If they're running around, you know, those coaches should be saying something to them.
Exactly.
Was the clinic over?
Yeah, it was over and this woman had a kid there. And before he started hitting balls, he was running all around the place and she was chasing him. So the parent was
control.
there, but she couldn't control him. And he was probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old at most.
Still.
Yeah, but it's dangerous. And you can
Yeah.
tell them that. Other people were saying things as they were hitting at the driving range. Someone brought to my attention that, people aren't, as usual, repairing their divots and fixing the ball marks on the greens. So would something like this be posted right at when they're checking in and also the starter?
You had that one, there was a sign that we had, so.
Yeah.
Why don't you put-
What,
Golf
will the seniors buy me a sign?
I'll tell you,
Not a
there was-
piece of paper.
There was a better one, there was a better sign that said, you know what, before you cross this point. What was that, it says. be
Yeah,
prepared to-
I had a picture of it, I should.
That, was that you?
Green,
That was-
yeah,
that was
yeah.
phenomenal.
I'm looking for it right now.
I think we need, if you want sign, do a professional sign, like.
Well, not every.
Well, not that, but,
Oh, that's.
but think about this, before you, Ron, take care of that, he got, it was perfect, you know, be prepared to, prepare your dog.
You showed it to me before.
I
Yeah,
love that, right?
yeah,
Okay.
The, like divots and that starts with your own group, right? If you see someone in your own group, I hope you're saying something to that
Oh,
person,
there's some,
right?
some.
And if you're not,
Somebody's eating
that's your
football
fault.
seeds on the green too.
Okay, that's funny,
Yeah,
so I got that right here.
Oh, really?
So Tom, and Lori, got a good point.
Yeah.
So, I don't know who it is, but it's a morning person, right? Because there's sunflower seeds everywhere.
somebody sees it.
Really,
Gotcha.
and it's like, wait a minute, and they're all over the green, so what are you doing? I mean,
Yeah.
listen, I've had
On
it
the
before.
green?
Yeah, it was on the green. The other Monday morning, they were on the, I wanna say.
So one of the morning guys, so I hope they're looking at this thing, and that's number one. Number
Yeah.
two is, I don't know who this guy is, or woman is, but on the second hole, there's always 3 divots. It's 3, 1, 2, 3, they're taking 3 practice shots, and then the divot's gotta be this big and they don't replace them. It's all the time, it's like, what is going on here? So truthfully, I'm gonna do is move and work and find out who's going up before us, and I'll sing you out, I don't really care, but it's just,
No.
this is gonna stop, it's like all the time.
Well, we'll double down on, I'll ask the starters to, either put a sign for now, or at least verbally say,
Yeah.
don't forget about your divots. and
No,
stuff.
that's what I thought, you know, there it is, you have a bucket there, you know, you realize that to fill them up, and the dirt you have, I mean, there's no seed in that, right? It's just straight soil. We're
The
not-
green stuff?
Fine.
It's the, yeah, the stuff that were going into the,
The green stuff has some,
we don't have the green stuff anymore, it's like, it looks, it's just dirt.
It's like, yeah, black, right?
I don't know, what is that? It's like gravel almost, right? It's dirt, but there's no seed in there, right?
there should be some.
You sure, it's not green anymore, it's black or brown,
I'll check your bucket tomorrow.
not mine.
No, the Walker's bucket.
16 was
Yeah, but this
empty
is on the green.
Tuesday morning.
You think it's the,
16 was empty on Monday, too. Monday night it was empty.
you think that it's the workers that are
What?
with the.
It's
the
not-
thing around the greens?
No, it's somebody playing, there's somebody playing, because it's in the fairways too, as you walk along.
I can't imagine, I don't
You went
know.
out early on.
Yeah.
Yeah, well. they-
Tuesday, you guys went up at 9, they went up at 9:10.
Senior men went out before you.
Yeah, but I went out at 9.
Somebody that night.
No, the
And we
season.
fight that a lot with the men's club, you know, like we have to be behind a group and hit into a divot, and that's why we have our divot rule. You know, it's unfair, but if you don't have these rules, then it will make people take care of the course better, but unfortunately, a lot of our tournaments are after like big outings.
Yeah.
The outings, they don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just don't have a.
Those are our biggest,
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just don't have real golf etiquette to fix things. and-
No, you're right, it's usually a scramble, they're out there having cocktails and. We got it.
Once a year though.
Yeah, yeah.
What else you got,
So,
Phil?
quick,
Let's just go around, 'cause everybody's got a little things to do, go ahead.
Yeah, since Pete Blasio has a waiver with the town for volunteering for the Goosenator. Can we get something like that? We tried to do volunteer.
His task is not a union job. You cannot volunteer for a union job.
Oh,
So if you want, what would you like to volunteer for?
Okay, well, even, you know, fixing divots.
That's a union job.
That's a union job.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Painting lines,
Painting one lines.
hazard lines, out of bounds lines.
That's a union job. And might also be a union job or golf pro job, one of those two.
Well, pros not union,
I
right?
don't carry
Right.
much sand.
Go ahead, so.
All these things, I've tried, right? We've
Yeah,
tried.
oh, we've tried.
We've tried this volunteer thing. It was turned down. The only way. Peter and Jerry Paradis are volunteers in the town for the Goosenators. The
Okay,
Goosenator is not a town job,
Oh,
all right.
or I'm sorry, a job for our maintenance crew.
Okay, cause I gave you a list of tasks that I'd like to see done that
Yeah,
we tried to do last year.
Right.
But it's all in the job specs, correct?
yes,
So everything that,
Okay.
that they're talking about is in the job spec, correct?
like which job?
I don't know, that they want done.
Oh, yeah,
The divots, the ball marks.
right, right.
Okay, so do you have metrics for, how long it takes to do things?
I can get it for you.
Okay, I mean, 'cause and then just kind of plan everything out.
Yeah, a lot of those things Bill asked for,
Yeah,
we wait for our part-timers to do.
okay.
That's all.
Okay.
You know, I can't take Billy off the greens machine to pick weeds
mm,
right now
Oh, yeah.
because
No,
you're not gonna have
understand.
greens.
No.
I can't take Greg out of the fairway roller to pick garbage on the parking lot
Right,
because you won't have fairways.
no, understand.
The part-timers, the way that contract works, it's, you can have them year round.
They're 120 days from the day they start.
Okay, so you can have multiple people coming in.
If it fits our budget, yes.
Yes, okay, so we obviously have money in the budget, right? Even if we had to pay them $1 more. It's gonna, what's gonna cost us throughout the whole season, 10 grand? I mean, realistically, cause I kind of.
I think there's an amount we can have per year
Yeah.
in the union memorandum.
Um,
Of
we
how
can
many,
budget for
how
it.
many 120 workers we could have a year.
Is there a limit to the number?
Just like how many 9-month blue collars we could have.
Got it,
per
okay,
year.
I don't know, can you,
I'll get it for you.
alright, thank you.
Are they staggered? Like one starts in June, the other starts in July, the other starts in August?
Yeah, like last year, we had someone till December,
Which is perfect,
you know,
right?
because
And then-
it fit their schedule, you know, like they weren't going to school, so.
What else you got?
One last thing, is it possible to get name tags for the people who work in the register or the starter?
that'd be
Sure.
nice, that would be really nice.
Yeah, then we can address them properly.
As long as you guys are nice to them.
Jillian's not
Honestly,
bad.
what?
Is she coming? No. Jillian,
Jill,
Oh, Joe.
I liked her.
I'll yell at Abby.
Abby?
It's nice to you guys.
Abby's pleasant, Abby's always been pleasant,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
Abby.
in fact, she's your kid.
I know.
Uh,
Let's take that.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Loves your cookies. I hear about the fancy cookies.
Oh, goodness gracious. That's why I keep busting the stones about this, I thought you know that is that, I'm sorry. All right, so you want to extend number 7, right?
It's just a thought. We had to clear
The-
trees there because it fell from the ice storm. So when we were clearing it out, myself, Jerry, and the architect were there, and they're like, "Oh, can you imagine this, and that?" So it's just a thought.
All right, so think about this too, I mean. If somebody shanks one, you're gonna hit somebody else.
Yeah. You know, a lot of the changes we do, it's not for a particular golfer all the time.
No,
Right,
listen,
Like sometimes we'll do changes for ladies with forward tees or seniors with forward tees,
yeah.
but sometimes you gotta do the other side of it where
Before
it
I-
gets a little longer.
Yeah, so if you make that thing a 200-yard hole, I mean, no matter what you're looking at, you're looking at minimum,
Yeah,
a
I-
5 iron maybe, or 4 iron that you can't,
I don't think a lot of people play the black tees, so I don't understand why people
Oh, that's
are
gonna be
grieving
the
it.
black
for.
tees and back?
Yeah, I mean, look
Oh,
at 15. Do we use the back? Do you use the back tees on 15?
No way, heck, man.
Because that's the black tees, right?
I did it a
And
long
when
way,
we-
no, I'm not that long.
When we are offered a big tournament, we can say yes with a 200-yard par 3.
Mhm.
Right now, you can't. These guys are all hitting 9 irons.
Yeah.
No one wants to.
On 7?
No, I'm talking about these big events, like you know,
Oh, yeah.
like
GSTA,
yeah, you know that to get more recognition for bigger events.
I know you're coming from that.
PGA.
Yeah,
Can I ask something else about the tees? I mean, I know it's a lot of work to build a tee like that, that may only get used once or twice a year. We have other tees out there that are like that, like 17. We never used the bottom of 17. I think last year, I think we used it once. And that was in Mark's Pros Revenge event, and we weren't even playing 17 then, we were playing 15 from there. How can we get that tee to be used more often, or why isn't it used more often?
would you like to use it more?
Yeah,
Okay,
I think everybody would
gonna
love to
flex.
use
That's
that.
fine.
Alright, so I'm gonna bring something up here, Mike, going the wrong way, but all these citizens, now you're limited on what you can. The interaction here, but I'm glad you're doing this, I am.
Yeah, if I can't say something or ask them, just,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, you're fine.
Well, shut up. But that's, the point that you're making is good,
Yeah,
you bring this up all the time. But the issue that you have with 17 is getting down there,
yeah,
and that can cause a
Yeah.
problem, right? And that's, believe me, we've talked about this, so even if you go around to the left, there's no easy way to get there,
No,
right? And you have to worry about people getting hurt on the way down there.
But is it worth maintaining it then? If
Well,
we're never gonna use
that's
it?
$1 million question. That's the $1 million question, that's some cost as far as I'm concerned. Right? I mean, it's already done, it doesn't matter, so. Or you use that for, for turf that you need somewhere. It's another thought about that one.
we can start using it more,
All right, whatever.
and we'll see how, if we get any negative feedback on
I got two more items real very quick. Somebody actually brought to me, they said, listen, the PGA, CTPGA offers somebody to come out here for like a couple grand or whatever in the off season and walk through your course with you. And to say, listen, think about doing this, this, and this, because, this tree here will affect this green, or it will affect this tee box, or it affects this. They'll do, you need this. I don't know if the guy's an agronomist. I don't know what the, he or she is. I really don't know. But I know that they've done it in a couple different clubs, and somebody came to me and said, listen, I'm just not, they offer that thing, and it's cheap. It's less than 3 or 4 grand. For them to come out and they'll give you an assessment, basically, which I thought was pretty interesting. And I know when Jonathan was around, we did speak of this thing, and I think he did it. I'm just bringing that up, right? It's another option, because we're making a lot of changes these days, and for the better. We really are, for the better. So I mean, it's just, maybe not lose sight of some of these things. That's, that does have a tendency to happen. And last but not least, the bathrooms. When are the bathrooms going to be opened up? Okay, Nance.
it. Usually it's tied into the city water, so.
It's not gonna
It's
freeze,
been
like-
warm,
Yeah.
so it should be turning on soon. I'll get an update on it.
Thank you, Sal. And that's all I got. Debbie.
On hole number 2, the stumps, any plans to take those out, or is that gonna be with the whole project too?
Yeah, I mean, you have to take them out. You can't just cover them and say goodbye. Like the first one we have to do is the one by the left bunker. Where that old tree was. I know we started doing that on 15 this week. So 15 should be cleared soon, then I'll ask him to do 2 next.
Then what are they gonna dig them out?
Yeah.
They're grinding them?
Grind them.
And they were digging them out, right?
Oh, yeah.
Both, you're doing both.
Yeah,
You
you
gotta do a
gotta-
little bit of
yeah.
both.
Yeah, because I saw the back.
But more digging than grinding.
No, you're thinking grass on 2, where you took them, I mean, there's light coming through there.
Like a mound system,
No.
like in the back of 4.
It looks good that they just cleared it out. I think it looks great. It really, it's changed the whole dynamic of the hole a lot.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the ice in the winter, the 2 weeks, it really pushes back a month on clearing that area. We couldn't get on a course for, 5 weeks, so give us some time there, we'll clear that place up a little bit.
Hole number 9, you wanted to extend that cart path. Is that gonna take place in the summertime or
Jerry tells me before summer,
before summer?
so we have a meeting
On,
next week.
Well,
Yeah.
go get rid of the Baja Run.
What's that?
Well,
that's why we want to do it. And no one can hear me on the radio when I'm over that.
Oh, my
path.
And You need a new battery and a clock on the driving range.
Okay,
Yeah, that clock that's up there, you need a new battery.
sure.
And, the other thing, when, with the bunker project, the sand, you gonna go basically the same type of sand or?
I'm very new to this, so from my understanding, it's gotta be a specific type of sand that matches the pores of the concrete. Cause if you go too fine, it goes through.
Oh, really?
If it's too thick, it's gonna clog.
Yeah.
So you want it to where you can actually take a hose and wash your bunker and the sand's not gonna go anywhere.
Beautiful. That's
Yeah, but it's.
what we want to hear, man.
And that's in the RFP. It'll be very specific on the amount, where we get it, where we store it. You know, all that stuff.
Excellent.
Very good.
Back then, they do a lot of cart path. Paving.
On the back end.
Yeah, it looks like there was new cart paths.
We did 16 last year.
Oh, okay. I wasn't playing much.
Yeah, last year. You're injured list last
They
year.
moved the tree up there
That
too.
was all new.
Yeah.
They moved the tree up there that died. Did you know
Yeah,
that?
that I did see that.
That's it. Okay.
Let's let it go. Okay. Good. Lori. All right. I think you're holding discussion.
How about you?
Yeah.
I said.
I'm first.
Oh, sorry.
Don't forget though.
Email that.
Okay, we have,
Sorry?
the two signs
I
that
will.
$400 is still sitting here. What do you want to do with that?
That Mr. Hazel, did I say his name right? Ken? Hazel? He donated that last year to the account with no specific reason, like
Kenny.
specific reason for us to use, so it's just there.
All right. What do you want to do with it now? It's like,
Well, I thought we had talks of trying to grow that account again and trying to sell other sponsorships.
so who's gonna call?
What do we do with the ones that are there? Are we gonna say it's expired
Well,
or?
it did expire. That was the whole idea with
It
this
did,
whole thing.
okay.
So you may want to just contact them, recontact them, so re-up and then figure out a price.
To stay
Re-up,
on?
Yeah. Because you don't have to buy another plaque for that,
Right.
right? You already have it,
Right.
so.
It's literally just another
listen, it's-
rental.
Yeah, so that's
For
what
the
it is.
space.
Yeah, it's rental of the space. So the signs themselves were already paid for, right? So,
It's just to stay there.
yeah, just stay up.
What would you say, a couple $100?
I have
We worked them
the,
out. We already did
yeah,
that.
I have the paperwork in the office.
Yeah.
Like originally it was 500, I
So it
think.
should be 500, yeah.
So-
And then 500
That was
is really-
That was for 2 years, that was for 2 years, so the whole, we did, that was all worked out.
I have the form in the office.
Made less, but I think
I'll stop by.
500, make some money.
I have no problem with that. Somebody's gonna.
500 for advertising.
Yeah, it's been up there
That's not
forever. Okay, so CIP, we got 35, 34 and change, 34.7. Encumbered in 17, so what do you do with, you know, the encumbered for 16, is that work in progress now?
Yeah, that's to pay for the driving range.
Is that what that cost, 16?
Yeah.
16.7, okay. And what do you do with the 18 that's left over?
Hoping for number 9, putting some money to number 9.
Okay.
And we like to keep some in, in the bank just in case.
Well, it's coming, you know, it's gonna start.
Well, it's starting to build up already,
Now
yeah.
start build up quick, right?
Right.
So now, at the end of this month and next month, it'll really skyrocket. So then, you know, what will be the next plans that, we obviously have the bunker project, right? So what are you looking at next?
Well,
Clean up.
ideally, I'd like to start doing something on 12 where that water is. Let it be
12.
like, email that to me. Let it be, you get like a
You wanna
stone
see the
wall or
sign
something.
that I got
For
for the
the
first and
CIP projects for next fall. I think that's open communication. I think we should all talk about it. And see what
Okay, so
everyone thinks.
why don't we do that for, did have the 5-year plan sitting out there,
Right.
so. Have everybody familiarize themselves with it, and then we'll talk about CIP going forward, how's that? Fair
Okay,
enough? So everybody's on board, I know, I've seen that one. Everybody's on board with that? That sound good? You good with that?
Yeah,
You know what I said?
no.
no.
Saul asked me to find this for him.
I just said everybody give everybody $50.
Yeah,
So,
I have some good news coming out of the budget. So the town received like over $2 million of money from Berlin High School project from the past.
yeah,
They're using that to pay for capital requests. So our request for a leaf blower was approved. So we are able to get a new leaf blower for the golf course with the new budget. So
very good.
hopefully
The
that's.
Kubota's in, right? The Kubota was all
Kubota's
the,
in. Within the next month, we'll know how we're doing as a course. In that case, you know, if we're doing just as good as the years before, we're able to put some money away. My suggestion is actually to put money away and not use it.
And that's fine.
You
You
got-
get something built in reserve, right?
A lot of
So,
big thoughts coming up. You're talking clubhouse, you're talking hard barns, and
Yeah,
you gotta start putting money away for that stuff.
fair enough.
And the surplus would be a good way to start, you know, not your CIPs, because your CIP is the only way to improve a course, but if you get a surplus in a year, put it into your CNR funds for future projects, where we can start talking about these bigger
Good,
Great.
projects that we want to do,
good.
so.
Excellent. That's what Jerry Paradis comes into play, just
Yeah.
for your own.
Yeah, you're a guy.
We've been talking about a lot of this stuff going forward, so that's actually
Yeah.
great. All right. Anything else? We have the golf course report.
The tent's going up tomorrow. The bridge will be going up next week.
Exactly.
Sorry,
New bridge.
we had a donated bridge for hole 15th, the left side, the walking bridge on 15. Right off the
14,
women's
14,
seat, 14, I'm sorry, 14, right off the women's seat.
All these basic side by side.
Yeah,
They-
but
they-
this one's a little nicer and better, I
This is
think.
more aesthetically
Yeah.
pleasing, yeah.
Not so high in railing, so
Not in play.
you don't have to flop shot.
Who's your new starter?
Sadly, Donnie's not coming back this year, Donnie Delaquilla, so hired a guy named Tom. He did a couple men's club events already. He's very proactive. He's been using the PA system to get groups on the tee.
Right.
So I know that's something y'all wanted, Mike, so I had him do it for you guys, and looked like it worked okay, where we're not announcing every tee box, but I told him, if you notice the tee box is open, go get him on the tee and call him on the PA.
The only feedback we heard from it is it's hard to understand.
It's hard. I told him don't put it so close. He's got to
It's
get
like
put
Charlie
so.
Brown's teacher.
So we're working on clarity, but he's like, oh, you know, he's got to put it
Like
away.
guy, right?
So-
No, that's all. I would ask if you don't see it working out like that,
Yeah.
please let us know,
Yeah.
because we could still, I mean.
It looked
you
like
know,
it
we always have an issue with slow play in our groups. It starts on the first tee, and
So I think, you know what, I think it's good time to bring that up, so, you know, you should have your group ready to go 10 minutes ahead of time. right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got, that's, if you're showing up on time, you're late,
Yeah,
and that's it. And
at least
so
5 minutes early
you
on
gotta
the
more than
tee,
that, man.
right?
You gotta be more than 5 minutes early
Yeah.
to be there, right, so, cause everything's gotta be taken care of, and that's not 5 minutes before you tee off, you start pulling in, then, that's it.
Yeah,
Then otherwise, you lose your tee time, that's it, that's all there is to
you
it.
should be walking to the tee as the other group is
just
walking.
walking off, right?
That's it.
Yeah. We're really trying to concentrate on your start time and your turn times right now. So, you know, that gives us like a way to ranger without having a ranger right now, so.
No, everything else is, that's fine. That's fine. Did everybody read Mark? Did everybody read these? I know they went out today.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, but okay, any questions on anything else? No? All right, it is 7:24. Man, that was
Whoa.
quick. Holy cow.
We're good?
Second by Commissioner Senior, all right, we are done. Go on.